Okay, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners, we're going to go ahead and convene the Village of Forest Park regular meeting for Monday, June 8th. We begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are able, please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Ragovan.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Mayor Hoskins.
Here. All right, Commissioners, first thing we need to do is approve the minutes from the May 26th regular council meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon Ragovan. Any discussion? All right, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Ragovan.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comments here tonight?
We do. The first one is Fatima, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight because I have some serious concerns regarding parking fines that I hope can be addressed and resolved. Between February, I accumulated a total of 6 parking tickets. Where I reside, there is only a 2-car parking garage, which resulted in me having to park on the street. On March 25th, I was placed on a payment plan. I fell behind on my April payment and attempted to make it up on May 20th. I was informed by the receptionist that I would need to pay $100 to cover both the missed payment and upcoming payment, with no option to split it. At the time, I only had $50 available. I want to be clear, I was not trying to avoid my responsibility. I simply needed a reasonable accommodation. What concerns me greatly is what happened next. On May 20th, my online balance showed that I owed $475 in parking fines. By June 4th, just 2 weeks later, that balance had jumped to $900. I have documentation to support this. I was also never informed that online payments were an option. I was told payments can only be made in person or by money order. And despite multiple attempts to reach Lieutenant Durforth through email, voicemail, and the village line, a response has yet to be received. This past Thursday, a call was placed at 8 a.m. and was met with a request to call back in an hour. When I called back, the response was that he wouldn't be able to be available until after 11 a.m. due to a meeting. Every effort has been made to work through the proper channels, and I'm not here to cause any conflict. I'm here because I'm seeking clarity, and I believe these fines warrant a closer look. I'm asking that my account be reviewed, that the fees be explained in full, and that a fair and workable solution be offered. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Travis Myers.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Travis Myers, Local 2753 Union President for the firefighters here in Forest Park. I wanted to address you guys again since the last meeting about raising revenue in any manner possible. The demand that we are seeing year over year is just grown exponentially. I wouldn't say exponentially, but has increased, incredibly increased over the last 5 or 6 years. I don't really like being here and getting them in the business of what you guys are here to do and how you work together. And I don't want to be seen as a person who's here trying to cause divisions between people. But the division that is happening right now is our ability to serve the public and our ability to do it with efficiency and doing it effectively. When we're short-staffed and our equipment is broke routinely, I understand that these are decisions that were made way before you were here. And I understand the limits of what we have financially here at the village. But it doesn't replace the fact that our calls keep coming in. And it doesn't replace the fact that the citizens here at times can be at risk while we're out running other calls, either in Oak Park, Berwyn, or River Forest. I was here for 3 out of the last 4 days, and I was on a vehicle that is in replacement of our fire truck, which is now just a Ford like Ranger or like a whatever Expedition or whatever it is. It's a car that doesn't have anything. There's no water that I can use to put out a fire or anything. So I would go on calls, and it was and routinely it would be other departments coming in. And I understand the Mavis system is what we have, and there is no way to get rid of that. But when we're relying on outside resources to come in here and serve our community, it puts a strain, one, on us to respond properly, but also it puts a strain on the person that called. So when they're there having a medical emergency, or God forbid their home is on fire and we're out of town and we don't have the equipment or the manpower to serve and take care of our community, it's putting our community at risk. And I don't want to be up here and be like, oh, you're putting the community at risk, you need to really do something. But when it comes to raising revenue, however we get to that, it will go a long way in helping the citizens get what they would expect from us. And I really hope you consider now and in the upcoming meetings ways to build revenue through your places of eating tax or anything that you can do, because it's needed, incredibly needed. So my 3 minutes is up. So I have a union meeting tonight, so I hope you guys have a great night tonight. Best of luck.
Thank you, Travis.
Thomas,
Did you call my name?
yes.
I'm Thomas Kovac. I'm a retired federal bank examiner specializing in real estate. I'm highly educated in real estate. I was trained at Chicago Title and Trust. I have SREA, Society of Real Estate Appraiser certification in residential and commercial real estate. So when I'm talking about real estate, I know what I'm talking about. I've looked at hundreds of real estate development loans, thousands of mortgage loans, all kinds of mortgage banking stuff. I want to present some facts. The TIF, the Franklin Brown Street TIF. To me, it's a simple choice. It should be townhouse developments. We've done this in the past. I've studied 50 years of development change along Franklin Street. What has worked are townhouse developments. They generate about 7 to 8 times more real estate tax than in industrial use. It's amazing. The lumber yard pays about $88,000 in real estate taxes. A comparable size site are the Brown Street townhouses. 8 years ago, they paid $550,000 for about the same size aggregate site, just to give you how much more can be obtained from townhouse real estate development. Topic number 1. Topic number 2, Farmington Foods. You're going to be presented with an MOU tonight. I just want you guys to know how massively Farmington Foods has increased the scale of its operation since I moved to Forest Park in 2011. They went from 3 million gallons of water use a year to 13 million in 2025. They had an original PUD approval saying, we want to smooth out our operations. Well, here's what happened. 2015, they used 4.7 million gallons of water. When the new addition was completed, 2017, 8.7 million. Yet they said they were smoothing out existing operations. And the water that they do exhaust into the sewer system is far dirtier now than it was in the past. There's some suspended solids, 9,000 pounds in 2011. Now it's 62,000 pounds of suspended solids. There's something called biodynamic oxygen demand, where you release organic materials into the water. It brings about microorganisms that eliminate the oxygen in the water. You get dead ponds, dead rivers. Here are the numbers in their exhaust water. 2011, 21,000 pounds. 2025, 305,000 pounds. I've had a lot of problems with this company. I want you guys to get the facts. When you hear things, you hear me complain. You should have lived my reality these last several years. It isn't pleasant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kovacs.
Jeff, just as a reminder, for public comment, you get 3 minutes.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff Binns-Calvi. My wife Amy and I live at 1119 Circle. Well, summer is here. And so our beautiful Madison Street is open for business, and lots of wonderful sidewalk dining and music and drinking. And my wife Amy and I went up to Cafe DeLuca the other night, and 5 times over the course of the hour, we were interrupted by very loud music, motorcycles coming by. I emailed the chief, I think last summer, and he responded right away. I had an idea that you just could put an officer at the corner of Madison and have him pass out tickets. The chief explained that it wasn't that simple. So there are fines established. I believe it's up to $750 for a noise violation, and it's pretty straightforward. I believe if you can hear them from 50 feet away, that's a violation. The businesses say that they're struggling. Anecdotally, I've heard stories of people saying that they don't come up to Madison in the summer because it's just painfully, ear-piercingly, chest-thumpingly loud occasionally. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but I would like to bring it up and revisit a possible solution. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we have one more, Jennifer.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer. I'm sorry, Miss Jennifer. And I've been a resident / landlady in Forest Park for over 25 years. I know changes are being made forward and some have stopped. So I looked at the Forest Park Community Guide for 2025, and it said that Forest Park roughly has 46% of the housing stock in rentals. So there's a lot of rental property here. And they said 54% in owner occupied. So that's a large number, and we don't have a housing office. We don't have anyone to give us updated information. When you check the website, it's a wonderful website, but I believe the information is outdated and it's very limited. I know we're neighbors to Oak Park and they have a wonderful housing program, but we're not included in that. It'd be nice if somebody would come up with an idea to get us vetted and maybe give them a small sum of money because they already have it together with the housing program. I also remember from being here for 25 years that the police department was running an educational program called Crime-Free Leasing, that you could put the addendum into your leasing. And that was helping the police department and helping the residents also. So I'm just concerned that I just took a class last Monday, but it was based in Chicago and a lot of information was Chicago. But a lot of it was updated information that I was behind in. And when I came to the village, nobody really had any answers. So I'm just seeking better communication for residents, for tenants, for landlords. And just because, well, the firehouse is gone. I'm a senior now, officially, and I attended maybe 2 weeks ago a lot of senior informational sessions. And River Forest Fire Department gave a lot of information. Okay, I'm trying. So they have this thing called Foul of Life, and I'm sure a lot of people that live in Forest Park or wherever you live, you don't know about the Foul of Life. He sat here and spoke about safety, and with the Foul of Life, they give you this informational card where you put your emergency information and any medical information, and you place it on your refrigerator. And if they were to enter your house, at least they would have this data to help, you health-wise. That too needs to be put on the website. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Commissioners, there are no formal communications before the council tonight. Under department reports, everyone should have received their police report. Are there any comments, reaction to the police report?
Yes, I wanted to thank the police department for a very comprehensive report on their activities, not only for the period on our agenda, but they provided statistics and information that compare year over year. And I think it's very helpful to look at, and our fire department does this too. You can see how busy our police department and our departments are over time. And this report that they provided in our packet shows the last several years how our police department activities have changed and the activities that they've been focused on. And it's a very helpful report, and I encourage residents to review it if you have time, when you have time, because it does show the tremendous service that our police department provides our village.
Thank you, Commissioner Mellon McGovern. Any other comments or reactions to the police report? All right. We're at bills by resolution. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Forest Park, Cook County, Illinois, that we dispense with the reading of the individual bills inasmuch as each department head has approved and signed bills in the following aggregate amount for their respective departments. Public Affairs, $12,808.31. Police Department, $10,274.89. Community Center, $1,166.53. Accounts and Finance, the Clerk's Office, $214,998.83. Accounts and Finance, the Fire Department, $20,310.86. Department of Health and Safety, $34,716.23. Streets and Public Improvements, $22,877. Public Property, $51,788.05. Seizure, $8,908.90. Federal Customs, $9,229.01. TIF, $10,439.20. VIP, $15,347.73. Water Department, $6,189.03, for a total of $419,054.57.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, is there a motion to adopt the resolution on the bills?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Nero.
Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Ragoven.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt. Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 50-26.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, Commissioners, we're moving down to new business. The first item this evening is a resolution authorizing the acceptance and execution of a small equipment grant from the Office of the Illinois State Fire Marshal. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? All right, there is no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Ragoven.
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
Okay, this is Resolution R 51-26.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a facilities use license agreement with the Forest Park Chamber of Commerce. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Vogt. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Mellon Ragoven. Discussion?
Just a couple of questions.
Commissioner Vogt.
I just figured we'd chat about this real quick and go over a couple of questions that I had, but, so this ultimately would be a lease where they're keeping an office and then having their regular meetings, correct?
Yes, they'd be keeping an office and they would be able to use it for regular meetings as they wanted to.
Okay, and then that won't interfere with the village allowing other organizations to use this space like we have been, like with the Historical Society and the Arts Alliance?
Correct. So the chamber meetings, as far as like the board, are usually held during the day, and we have gotten very few requests in regards to that. And anything that is after hours, Lori and I have chatted, and we'll just be in constant communication as far as like there's not a presumption that they would have all access to it. If they wanted to do like a chamber after hours or hold a business owners meeting, we would coordinate with that to make sure that, you know, they weren't bumping somebody. Correct. And the village will still manage the calendar. And so, you know, we would still work with the chamber to make sure that the timing of the events doesn't interfere with the other organizations using it as well.
Okay. And then I was curious, being on Madison, is the chamber intending to have any sort of like public presence, like sort of open business hours where residents could come in and get information about events or shopping guides, or businesses could come in and have like resources available to them? Like, is there anything like that in the?
So we've talked about it before, and when we initially brought this to the chamber, that was one of the things that we had talked about. And so I think now that, you know, assuming that this gets approved, that's something that they can move forward with putting into place.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
And then also, just as the other organizations use the space as well, having the chamber's information in that space, being able to bring business owners who are potentially interested in to meet the chamber. So if Director Glinke and I are meeting with somebody who's interested, you know, we can have someplace on Madison Street as opposed to not to put where that right now, you know, they're kind of in the basement of the bank, which has worked out fabulously for years. But one of the ideas when we took over 7410 was to give the chamber more visibility amongst it's particularly in the downtown business district.
Okay. And then my only other thoughts were just because this is new and I think it might I don't know, bring some new ideas for how this is all working to light over time. So just that we assess on a regular basis or maybe quarterly how it's working out, and just be kind of checking in on that. And then once the lease agreement has expired, maybe like a full assessment in the council, review that assessment and provide any any feedback or have any questions and just decide if they want to extend it or amend the lease rather than just letting it go into month to month.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. I mean, I sit on the chamber board, so I mean, I'll be in tune with, we've been talking about this for, I think, the last year as far as, what an agreement would look like and what the chamber could possibly use it for. So, we have a representative from the village who is on the chamber board. So I'm happy to come back and report. I'm sure, if requested, Lori has always been willing to come and talk to you. And certainly the goal is not to let it lapse into a month to month. I mean, we would want to at that point, I would assume too, the chamber would want to make sure that, they have some long-term plans. So we can certainly do that.
Just because that was the term of this agreement. so
Yeah,
just
it's
wanted
kind
to
of
let
standard as far as rather than just letting it
get
lapse.
that on the record. But it's a great opportunity. I think it could really help with visibility and outreach. So thanks.
Commissioner Maxim.
I realize I don't know what the process is right now through which, like Arts Alliance or other groups get to use it, and then to which organizations is that open?
Sure. So right now, the request is made through the mayor's office, and so it's typically Megan Roach and myself who look at the calendar to see if it's available. So far, we have allowed the Historical Society and the Arts Alliance to use it. One, we were kind of still getting the building kind of up and ready. We were kind of trying to feel some things out. And there was just some discussion to, while we were still doing all that, to limit it strictly to Forest Park organizations. To be fair, that's really, those two are the only two that have asked to use it. With the chamber having an office there too, we're going to have to keep that in consideration. It's not necessarily open to just anybody. We do kind of vet the organizations and what they want to use it for. So.
Commissioner Mellon Govan.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to mention, I know that the Forest Park Historical Society is excited about this next step. I don't want to speak on their behalf because I'm a supporter, but this a permanent presence in the office means that I know they are very interested in displaying historic artifacts and things. So, yeah, so that it means a lot of good things can happen.
All right. Commissioner Nero, anything? All right. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 52-26.
Okay, Commissioners, next item is a resolution proposing the redevelopment plan and project and the designation of the Franklin Street Brown Avenue TIF redevelopment project area and the adoption of a tax increment allocation financing, therefore convening a joint review board and calling a public hearing in connection therewith. Is there a motion? Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion? All right, there is no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 53-26.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing the waiver of the hiring freeze for IMRF employees, and this is in regards to hiring a full-time, accounts receivable clerk. Is there a motion?
I will make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxim. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Okay, there is no discussion. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 54-26.
Thank you. All right, Commissioners, next item is a proclamation honoring Goldie Burgers on that business's 100th anniversary in Forest Park. How about a joint motion?
Indeed.
All right. Madam Clerk, you want to read it? Please.
Whereas in 1926, Barney and Joe Goldstein first served a hamburger that would become a beloved local staple, establishing what is now known as Goldie Burgers. And whereas after more than 5 decades of serving residents and visitors, the Goldstein family entrusted their legacy to new ownership in 1981 when Mike Sullivan purchased the establishment and committed to preserving its tradition of quality and community. And whereas Mike Sullivan, a lifelong Forest Park resident, has owned and operated Goldie Burgers for 45 years of its century-long history, maintaining the original recipe, the commitment to high-quality, freshly ground beef, and a business model that emphasizes simplicity and affordability. And whereas under Mike Sullivan's dedicated leadership, Goldie Burgers has evolved while honoring its roots, including the addition of booths for comfort and the creation of Forest Park's first beer garden, further cementing its role as a welcoming neighborhood gathering space. And whereas reaching its historic 100th anniversary in 2026, Goldie Burgers stands today as one of the oldest hamburger establishments in the Chicagoland area, remaining a cherished local treasure that reflects the history, character, and resilience of the village of Forest Park. And whereas the village of Forest Park recognizes that the enduring success of a 100-year-old institution relies entirely on small business owners like Mike Sullivan, whose stewardship fosters community connection and preserves local heritage. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and village council of the village of Forest Park do hereby proclaim and celebrate the 100th anniversary of Goldie Burgers and extend their sincere appreciation to Mike Sullivan for his decades of dedication, stewardship, and service to the community. And be it further resolved that the village of Forest Park congratulates Goldie Burgers on this remarkable milestone and wishes it continued success for generations to come. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the village of Forest Park to be affixed this 8th day of June, 2026.
Very nice.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Congratulations to Goldie Burgers.
You did it, just need to voice vote or whatever. Did motion, so you should do something.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the vote.
Call the roll.
Vote.
Commissioner Maxim?
Aye.
Commissioner Nero?
Aye.
Commissioner Mellon Ragovan?
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt?
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins?
Aye. Congratulations to Goldie Burgers.
Indeed.
All right, Commissioners, our final item under new business is a motion to enter a closed session pursuant to litigation under 5 ILCS 120/2C11.
Can we chat for a second?
So initially, we were going to consider 2 separate topics under closed session. However, one topic is not quite ready for the council's review this evening. So we're going to adjourn, like I said, pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C11. And we're not going to reconvene into open session this evening. So at this time, we'll have commissioner reports. and we will not be resuming open session. So if you're here and there's a basketball game or something that you want to watch, feel free, because we're not coming back here. But we will have commissioner reports,
So administrator report first.
administrative reports as well.
Good evening. I just want to give a couple updates. Jackson Street construction is going well. We meet weekly and everything is on schedule. So just wanted to update you on that. I wanted to say thank you to Chief Hankus and to the council tonight for approving this small equipment grant for the fire department. That grant is going to be used to purchase a Lucas chest compression machine, something that our fire engine can keep on hand in the needing to do CPR. The village is going to be participating in 2 tabletop exercises this week. Chief Hankus and I are going to be heading to Oak Park tomorrow, where they are doing a tabletop exercise with regard to federal immigration enforcement. And then staff on Thursday is going to be participating in what is the village's first tabletop exercise in regards to tornado planning. And so the work that we've been doing, the EOP team for the last year with updating our emergency operations plan, we're still ongoing with the actual manuals for it. But one of the things that we want to do is get staff together to talk about what would happen in the event that a tornado came through a portion of Forest Park. So staff will be taking part in that on Thursday. And then lastly, I just want to say, there's a lot of great events coming up in Forest Park and have taken place. Thank you to Commissioner Mellon Rogovin for her wonderful bike safety event. It was amazing and just such a great day. And to see so many people at the Park District playing soccer in the playground, riding their bikes, using the playgrounds was great. And then on behalf of the Arts Alliance, Stoop Sessions is tomorrow evening as well.
Thank you, Administrator. Okay, Commissioner's reports. Commissioner Maxim.
Yes, we had a public comment today about the fire department, and I'm going to talk about that tonight as well. At the budget meeting, Chief Hankus gave everybody a copy of the Forest Park Fire Department budget presentation, and I hope that everyone's had a chance to read it. It is compelling, and there's a lot of things that are said in it that I think should make us all take note of, the situation that the fire department is in and the ask that's being given to us sitting up here to help fix those problems. One of the quotes that she writes in the report is, the part-time administrative model adopted in 2004 is no longer sustainable. It contributes to incomplete programs and firefighter burnout. Without aligning staffing with current demand, the department will continue to face operational strain, rising maintenance costs, and personnel fatigue and injuries. And then Travis Myers, who spoke tonight and also at the budget meeting, and he's the union president of the fire department. Today he, shared his thoughts as well. But I'm going to quote some of the things that he said at the budget meeting for people who weren't there, and just because I think it's really important for us to hear these things and think about, these aren't just words people are saying. This is the safety of our community that's at stake. And he kind of gave a scenario. He said, it's 3 a.m. A paramedic's been on shift since 7:45 yesterday morning. He's been awake for nearly 20 hours. His ability to perform is compromised. Then a structure fire comes in, and we're asking exhausted firefighters to save lives when they haven't had adequate rest. Your constituents deserve better. They deserve to know that when their worst day comes, we're at our best, not running on empty. And then he went on to talk about how on-duty injuries from exhaustion and stress are horrible, right? But they're more than safety issues, because then they also create a financial crisis for the village. And he said, every disability claim for fatigue hits our pension fund. That's a cost the village will carry for decades. We can prevent that now, or we can pay for it later when it's much more expensive. This council, he said, is capable of bold action. I'm asking you to move fast on revenue solutions that matter now, not years from now. And I think it's really important to hear the words of the actual people who are in and leaders in our fire department, you know, because they're telling us, they're saying that they feel at risk mentally and physically. They're saying they're worried about their ability to perform as well as possible for themselves and for the residents. And they're saying that the price of this is both a major safety concern, but also a financial burden down the road. And I think, you know, if we're talking about finances, they're asking us, they're saying, please, you know, find ways to help fix this. So I want to, you know, thank all the elected officials here, Rory and Michelle and Jessica and our village administrator and Lindsay, who worked really hard to push for the CTA reimbursement. I'm really thankful that you did that, and that's going to be significant and really helpful. My only concern with that is that I think it's sort of been touted a little bit as like a golden solution that's going to fix everything, and it's not going to fix everything. Even with that, and even if that money, all of it goes directly back to the first responders, which it should, because the only reason we're getting it is to directly, to alleviate these direct problems that we have caused by the CTA. So even if all of that money goes back to the first responders, it's still not going to fix all the things that need fixing. And that's, you know, the equipment, that's having more staffing, that's higher salaries so that we can recruit and retain people to, you know, work for our departments. All of the things that we need to do, and there are lots of them, are going to require, like I've said before, lots of different solutions that we don't waste any more time talking about, that we start putting into action. And then lastly, I want to talk about the places of eating tax that we're going to be talking about at the next budget meeting again. So I've been talking to business owners about the places of eating tax, and most of the ones that I've talked to are kind of resigned to the fact that it's probably going to happen. And they are asking for us to start talking about what we can do for them. And what I'm asking right now is that at the next meeting, we can have a discussion item. So Rory, I'm asking you, hopefully, since you put things on the agenda, that we can have a discussion item to talk about 3 different things related to the bars. The first has to do with the entertainment licensing requirement. There was a question from somebody like, hey, maybe could we change it so that, you know, if we have an acoustic guitarist playing at 5 p.m. on a Saturday, that, you know, maybe we don't have to get the license for that. You know, maybe we could just be allowed to do that. I'm not saying we should, but I'm saying that as a council, we should talk about that if that's something maybe we want to change. The second is the outdoor sidewalk seating. The bars without the food, that don't sell food, are not allowed to put tables outside. And there's some bars that would be interested in doing that. But right now our code prohibits the bars that only have the tavern license and not the food attached to it as well from doing that. And I don't know the history of that. Maybe there's a really good reason why they're not allowed to. But again, I would really like us to have a public discussion about that. And then third, the bar hours. So, you know, we know that there is a history of the bar hours being taken away. There were a lot of problems on Madison Street. Maybe we could talk about a trial period of giving back some hours on the weekends. So I don't have a suggestion. I'm not advocating for any certain hours, you know, that we should allow, but I think that we owe it to the businesses to talk about these things again, because we haven't revisited these in a really long time. And now that we're going to be, if we ask more from them, I think we should also talk about some of the things that they've been asking from us. And that's, so I'm requesting that we do that at the next meeting. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Commissioner Nero.
Real quick, just as update, safety and awareness, you know, I was sitting here and it made me think about Jackson Boulevard and the time of year it is right now. And so for years, the public, certainly the residents in this community, have gotten off at Des Plaines and shot down Jackson Boulevard over towards Harlem Avenue. But moreover than the people that live here, it's those out-of-towners that have used it, right? Get off at Des Plaines and either go up north to Jackson or go south to Harrison to shoot over to Harlem Avenue. Well, that's changed, right? It really has. And so this is more of an awareness, especially for us as the residents in the community, but certainly for our children. Now, I know the schools, particularly Garfield, is off for the summer, which is good. But if you're putting traffic down towards Harrison, they've done a fantastic job with pickleball courts. The kids are all over. The swimming pool is over there. There's lots of kids going across the street, but we're pushing folks using Jackson Boulevard now that are used to using it, that don't know it's under construction, is different. And the construction traffic pushes everybody over to one lane, and you have to be cognizant of that. And you also have blind spots, right? You have equipment and vehicles and excavators that are parked there. So what are you saying, Nero? I'm saying that we have to do our best as a community to educate each other, specifically our children, and be good parents to make sure that when they go out, they're aware that there are hazards, and for us to slow down. And the other thing is be aware that living on those other streets, like Adams, is a street that I would avoid because I would go to Jackson. Now I go down Adams a lot because it's open and I can see what's going on, but it's not used to that type of traffic. And so neighborhood kids and stuff that are used to riding their bikes are not used to that traffic either. So there's just a heightened sense of awareness from us as residents as we are driving in the community, and certainly tell folks that are coming to visit us as well. I know there was 2 accidents on the corner of Circle and Adams, maybe probably unrelated, but in a matter of 2 days. And so those things happen. It's a change. It's something that's going to be existing. It was scheduled appropriately, right? Because school is out and you don't want to be tying up Jackson Boulevard while you're letting off school kids. That would be a disaster. But it takes an effort from us to make sure we're doing the best we can to keep our people safe. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Mellon Rogovan.
Thank you. And Commissioner Nero, thank you for your observations, and please let the Traffic and Safety Commission know if we can do anything regarding that redirected traffic. So I wanted to thank everyone who supported the bike safety fair on May 30th. As Administrator Entler mentioned, we had a very strong turnout of over 100 people, and we distributed 73 helmets to kids and adults, mainly kids. We had a very significant increase in kids who participated and received helmets this year. So thank you to the Kiwanis Club of Forest Park that sponsored the event this year and every year, and Played Again Sports. And the Park District of Forest Park continues to be an amazing sponsor, and they fund the free bike repair station that we provide residents who participate in the event. So thanks to everyone who participated, especially the Traffic and Safety Commission volunteers who came and helped to run the event along with our friends at the Park District. I wanted to thank everyone who made our Pride event successful this year, as well as our Juneteenth flag raising. Those events are very excellent ways to build our community and recognize important events and areas of our community that bring us together as community members. And it was a wonderful way to celebrate who we are as Forest Park. I participated in the Environmental Control Commission meeting and talked about some upcoming events and areas where we'll be working together to promote pollinators and protecting pollinators later on this year. And wanted to especially thank Director Sal Stella and the Public Works Department as we continue to educate residents. And I wanted to thank residents for continuing to work with us as we onboard our new garbage and recycling vendor in Forest Park. But Sal in particular has worked with me to educate residents about new requirements and the new ways that our SBC vendor is serving our community. Last, and for the record, I want to make sure that our residents know that fly dumping in Forest Park is illegal. And that is, if you don't know, is leaving trash or other materials that belong to you or that you generated in someone else's yard or on someone else's property. So we've had reports of fly dumping, and please know that we are aware of this, and we just need residents to know that that is not allowed, and you need to dispose of your trash or recycling in approved bins on your own property. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Mellon Rogovan. Commissioner Vogt.
Excuse me. I just wanted to congratulate the mayor and everyone involved on the Juneteenth flag raising. I'm sorry that I was out of town, but I'm glad it was a success. And the Pride event was fantastic. It was really well attended, a lot of fun, just really great to see the community come together and everybody there participating in some fun events. I know the Arts Alliance had like a hand painting flag that they station that they had set up that was really cute, and it was just a great day. So I want to thank everyone who helped organize that, and I just wanted to thank Commissioner Mellon Rogovan for all of her work and going above and beyond, communicating with residents and answering questions and helping to smooth out the transition with the new trash hauler. I know that you've been working very hard to try to help get information to folks with questions. So I just wanted to thank you and obviously staff for that. But it seems like it's starting to hit its stride. So I want to thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. Okay. So just run through a couple of things. Last, I think it was Wednesday, I had the chance to attend the Forest Park Middle School graduation. They held it this year at the campus of Concordia in River Forest. And it was nice to see the families and the graduates and even the members of our school board who were able to present their children with a diploma. That happened at least twice that evening, so that was fun. I want to thank the volunteer committees that put together both the Juneteenth flag raising. We had support from Troop 107, our local scout troop. Some of the PMSA, Proviso Math and Science Academy students participated. And we had trustees from District 91 as well as District 209 in attendance, as well as the superintendent for District 209. So we appreciate the wide community support here in Forest Park. In terms of Goldie Burgers, congratulations to Goldie. We certainly had different people from the community speak up in their favor and ask us to do this proclamation. So it's nice to be able to be responsive. And then finally, something a little bit more substantive. The village is going to be submitting a request to the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus to help us with sort of a housing study. They have a program called Homes for a Changing Region, where they help you develop a housing plan. The Mayor's Caucus has worked with over 65 communities to develop housing studies, reports, and plans. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to any community. But as we look at how to better serve both tenants and landlords and some of the challenges facing Forest Park, this assistance will better help us to assess who is living in Forest Park, some of their financial constraints, some of the opportunities available to the village. So in conjunction possibly with a strategic plan being updated, I think this housing study will be very beneficial to the village. And so having said that, I'm going to end my commissioner's report there this evening. And like I said earlier, we're going to entertain a motion to adjourn into closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 C11, and we will not be returning to open session. Madam Clerk? Oh, is there a motion? I'm sorry. Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Maxham. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxim,
Aye.
Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragoven,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Meeting.